just for once, I'm first in line, because I spent the night at the truck stop 3.6 kilometers away, and you see that's my shipper over there. Those are all those wheel loaders, and they got some scrapers slash graders, but mostly it's all wheel loaders. And the gate is still closed, and of course, you know, you cannot sleep at like plus 30. I was running the engine until 10 o'clock, and then I probably spent like 5 hours inside the truck stop. And then, you know, there's only so long you can sit there. Yeah, sorry for my look, but you know, I searched for my shaver. I thought I took it with me, but you know, originally I was only going to Saskatchewan, right? But remember, I got stuck for 2 weeks in Barrie with a big piling rig, and so I left home on 23rd of June, and that's why I look like a hobo, because my shaving kit, like my, you know, hair cutter, I still remember it's in the trunk of my Dodge Charger, parked probably 1,500 miles away. And so it took 3 days, basically 2.5 days, to get here from Denver. But I left Friday morning, but I didn't do too much driving Friday, because I really wanted to change the shims in the deck, right? Because I know that the machine I'm getting, according to CAT, it's 12 feet 7 inches tall. According to my paperwork, it says 154 inches, which is 1210, which is totally nuts. And so I had a big shim, and what happens with that is that the big shim, it pushes the bogies into the ground, but it lifts the deck, right? So my deck was probably like 26 inches tall, you know, because that's for super heavy loads. But the problem was that one of my bolts in the deck was, people are saying, was stretched, and that's what mechanic who eventually cut it off, he said it looks stretched. And so it was extremely difficult to tighten after we changed the shims from blue to red, from medium size to big one, with Allen, you know, in the middle of June, right? It took all my strength in 30-degree heat to tighten that bolt on the passenger side. And so I knew that if I take it off now, it'll be only with a torch. And of course I don't have a torch, and so I needed a new bolt. And I did order Fontaine genuine bolts, because these were aftermarket. Maybe they're not strong enough, even though they're grade 8. But I did order Fontaine ones, but they're coming from Hale Trailer in New Jersey. Well, maybe in a week. I think by the time I get home to Ontario, they should be there. I told them to use UPS, because my post office is UPS, and so I should get it. But they want $250 for 2 bolts with 2 nuts with washers, and there's a safety pin. Like, their design is different. This one, so yeah, I was driving and thinking where I can get a bolt like that, like what I had before, and I found a Fastenal, you know, fastener supplier right outside of, I think it was Colby, Colorado. And there's a big petrol truck stop, and right next door. So I went in, I bought the one bolt. They had only 1 bolt, 1 nut, no washers, $29.99 US. And I went to the shop, and I didn't have any hopes, but the guy says, yeah, we can cut it off. And I said, would you mind, you know, helping me lift the trailer a little bit in the back so I can change the shims out? I said, I can use my timbers, but if you have jacks, it'll be much faster. And so took the guy probably 10-15 minutes to cut off that stubborn bolt on the driver's side. He was melting it with burning gas until it was soft, and then he just took something like a big chisel put the chisel on it, hit it with a big hammer, and it just cut it in 2 or 3. So I was a bit concerned that because it was so, you know, close to the actual frame of the trailer. I said, sir, are we gonna damage the trailer over there? Because I don't want the trailer to become soft as well, right? Oh, don't worry about it. So I was happy. I was super glad when that was over and he finally stopped hitting the bolt, because it was like white, you know. It was about to start dripping steel on the floor. I'm telling you, it was a bit scary. I was afraid that he might jeopardize the structural integrity of this 60-ton trailer. But everything was good. And then the left one we just took out with my wrenches. No power tools were needed. And then he had his big jacks, you know, those with a huge handle on 4 wheels. He put them under each side of the trailer where the bogies are, and he tightened them so that they were like, I lifted the front, he raised the jack so that they were touching the frame, and then I unlocked my right height, you know, arm over there, and I started dropping the front until he told me there was a gap. I said, tell me when there's a gap between the deck and the bogies. And when there was a gap like this, so we were able to take out the old shims, the big one, put the smallest one, and now I can tell that the deck is visibly lower in the back especially, you know. So now it should be good. And I'm gonna do 9 axles. I'm gonna do something crazy. We're gonna try to flip the last axle on axle 9. So right now I have my Jeep, my booster, everything is on the deck. So that would take probably an hour and a half. And they open at 7 local time, which is 8 Eastern. I told my pilot, I need 1 pilot in Arkansas. I told him to come at 12 midday. So I'm thinking 5 hours should be okay. But I've been here before. I remember you go inside and you park over there close to the trees. There's like a big, you can back in there, and then you walk to the building, and there's near the door there's like a register, and you take your CAT bill of lading and you have to write down your MSO number, whatever that means, and the serial number of the machine, and you just leave it there, and you write down your truck number, and then you go wait in the truck, and then they will bring the machine over. But I need help unstacking the trailer, so I'm really not looking forward to that. But so I didn't idle after, you know, I was watching the temperature, and at first it was plus 40, and then I see when the sun set it started going down. Thankfully it was plus 39, 38, 37. So at 10 local time it was plus 36, and I know that plus 38 is 100 F, so 36 was like 98. And so I stopped the engine, I opened the windows like this much, you know, I have a big fan. That's a cop. I put a big fan. I have my fan, 12-volt fan. When I open those screen windows, I put the fan in there. Open the top windows, and of course you wake up every like hour. It was a nightmare, but I managed to reduce the consumption, because I was idling at 850 RPM, and it said fuel consumption was like 4.2 liters per hour. And then I thought, to heck with it, so I dropped the RPM to 750, and guess what, the fuel consumption went down to 2 liters an hour, basically 50%. And I know it's not good for the engine, it doesn't like idling at low RPM, but because that, you know, later I might need to do some DPF cleaning. But in this weather, you know, plus 30, you cannot sleep. But again, I only idled until like 10 or 11 in the morning, at night. And so then finally the sunrise was at 6:15. I think I got up at 5, use some of my baby wipes. Great thing for conditions like this. So wipe myself up with these baby wipes, so you feel so much better after, you know. And all the wipes were dirty. I think these guys actually had a shower, but you know, what's the point of taking a shower and then you spend the night sweating like a pig, you know? And so these baby wipes are great. And also I bought this. Of course, this is not supposed to be probably used on human skin. Disinfecting wipes, they sting a bit, but I did that baby wipes thing first, and then I did this, and they're like moist, you know. They really, your skin really starts to breathe after that. So it's like almost like taking a shower, you know. And so I showed up here at 6:30 local time, and 10 minutes later that guy showed up behind me. T800. I don't see what kind of trailer he has, but I only see the truck. T800 white with air cleaners, big air cleaners on the front, and two exhaust pipes on the sides. So I took, okay, I'm gonna just relax a little bit. So it's now 10 o'clock Eastern time, so 9 local. I was here at 7. So checking in inside, putting down the booster, hooking it up to the trailer, flipping the rear axle onto itself, disconnecting the trailer, flipping up the neck extension, and of course removing all chains from the Jeep on the booster. There were like 9 chains, and then dropping the Jeep down, hooking up to the Jeep. All this take 2 hours. 2 hours, and it's plus 39 Celsius, boys and girls, so 101 F.